right, it's time to answer some more of your questions. We've got our sheets out. You guys have been very prolific in providing us with questions, and so let's just knock some out and see what we have. Okay. Tonight we're answering some of the miscellaneous ones that cover the whole gamut of a lot of different topics. So Yacht Sales Pro asks, how do you choose the right broker to sell your vessel when you are finished? Well, we are big fans of Great Loop Yacht Sales, Brent Bolin and Michael Martin. Michael was our buyer's broker when we purchased the vessel, and we're very good friends with Brent Bolin, and he has done an outstanding job. We haven't done a formal announcement about the update of how the sale of Witness is going, but we are under contract, so we have it completely set up. So we cross our wake, and a couple of days later we deliver it for haul out for survey and sea trial, and off it goes. I would say how you choose the right broker is you want the right person for the job. For us, we are loopers. We have looped on this boat, and we would love it to go to someone that is going to appreciate it as a loop boat and has dreams of looping with the boat. And it is a perfect boat to do that. We'll cover that all in another video. We have a ton of boat related questions, but these guys in particular know the loop and know what's required to do the loop and are great at fitting your needs for a loop boat to you. And then on the back end, if you want to sell your loop boat, selling it with that loop capability in mind. And so we've just been thrilled. They're just ethical to a fault. Yeah. They are just
their marketing and their pictures, are fantastic.
Stalwarts in the industry. We just couldn't be happier to be working with them, and they have overserved us. They just really have gone the extra mile to get Witness into the hands of someone that is really going to appreciate her, and so we really appreciate. So anyway, that's how you choose a broker to sell your boat. At least how we did.
Yeah. Okay, so D Kid asked, that is a good looking tender. What kind and where did you get it? He must not be watching our videos because we talk about it all the time. We love our tender. We got it from Bourbon City Yacht Sales. They're in Louisville, Kentucky, and he drove it to our location in Grand Haven, Michigan. He delivered it, and we could not be happier. And it is a Highfield
340 Classic with the FCT console, Tohatsu 20 horse, underwater lights, the Bluetooth stereo, the Garmin GPS. It's tricked out, and the Bimini top. We've used it all, and we've loved it all. I will say 2 places on the loop we have appreciated the very most. Right here in Canada, Georgian Bay and the North Channel. Every single day we go out and explore, and it's been invaluable, and it just, I don't know how you do this stretch without a sweet tender. And then the Bahamas every day, cruising around, exploring, swimming from it, snorkeling. It was just insane. So I have a suspicion this is Dustin Kidd of Bourbon City Yacht Tenders himself asking the question, but no, we are very thankful for the tender, and
and he was really helpful too, because we just thought, we'll get the 310, which is 10 feet long, but with 4 people, he said, you're gonna need the 11-footer, and that foot
makes a big difference.
Has made all the difference. Yeah.
So thank you, Bourbon City Yacht Tenders and Dustin, for the tender this year.
Your turn.
My turn. Okay, Thomas asks, could you recommend a book or a website on fire principles and practices? So we have a blog post on our website, onfirefamily.com, and it has some resources on there. So some of the books that we recommend, some of the websites and forums and blogs and that kind of thing. And for those that don't know, FIRE principles, FIRE, Financial Independence, Retire Early, which is how we got to be able to do the loop this year.
Which is funny because I'm starting work at the end of the month, but it's not like it's not full time, and it's not full time for an engineer is like 60 to 80 hours, so it's way less than that because we've been using the FIRE principle for years.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Dog questions now. So Rob Mills, we are getting ready to go to Great Lakes, to Bahamas next year. We have a small dog like you and are thinking about doing the netting around the deck rails like we have. Did you find this to be worth it? Was it a pain to manage the ropes and fenders? A little bit, yes. So when we first got the boat, it had the netting all the way up to the top, but because we have a small dog, Seth was able to knock it down to half, and
that helped a lot.
oh my gosh, yes, because what we have to do is have the lines and fenders kind of come over it. The hardest part is actually the cleats. The lines and fenders not really a problem because they come from the top rail. But you get used to it, you know. Do you have 2-inch squares? Yes. Our posts don't have anything on the bottom to tie to, so we think we'll need to put some SS loops in between. Do you have issues with that?
Okay, so the solution there, and this was shared with me by the Boomer Shines on Seashine, is Home Depot clothesline line. It's a vinyl coated line, and it is has a little bit of a stretch to it, so it can kind of act as a little bit of a bungee. And so I just tied it as a kind of a clove hitch around each stanchion base, and that secures it enough, and it arches up in just a little bit between stanchions, and that has been absolutely perfect for keeping the netting kind of tight, but also a little bit up and out of the way around the cleat areas where you're going to be reaching underneath the net to cleat off a line. Is it worth it? It's totally been worth it. The dog
Hasn't fallen.
has not fallen off the boat.
We don't even have it in the front. She just knows not to go up.
Yeah, the very, very front we don't have
we
it
have the
because we have the anchor locker up there and a lot of business that we need to conduct up there that it would get in the way of. And we had plans originally to put a net across, like right up there, but it has not been necessary. But these side, like, she feels free to go out the side doors, go up there and use her pee pad at the bow, and we've never been concerned about her falling off.
When he first reduced the netting size, he used zip ties and then cut them off, and all of us would just get scratched by those cut off zip ties, just
right in your calf. It's right at calf level, and you just get sliced as you go along.
So then, thank you to the Boomer Shines for telling us about this.
Yeah, and so then we use nylon line to wrap the whole rail going up.
Injury free now.
Yeah, and then the other dog question.
The other dog question: how have you gotten along with the dog on board? What do you do when you anchor underway? So we get this question asked a lot, especially by people whose dogs are not trained to go on board. So when we moved to this boat, we immediately trained her to go on the boat. In fact, we didn't walk her for a couple of days. But what we did have on board was actual sod.
Fresh sod from Home Depot.
From Home Depot. So it was grass on board.
Yep.
And underneath that was a soft AstroTurf. We tried it on another boat with a hard AstroTurf, and she was having none of it. So a soft AstroTurf is important. So we had the grass on top of the AstroTurf, and then we periodically would reduce the size of the grass until we dished it in Chicago. And then she just had the AstroTurf, which we also reduced until it fit into a boot tray. And then so we were able to move the boot tray around depending on where we were downwind from it. But
it did get stinky. Like, it's been a year of peeing in the same little thing, and we, soak it in fresh water. We used enzyme stuff. We scrubbed it and cleaned it and things. But it's been a year.
Yeah, it's still not fresh, but it was.
It met its demise recently, and so we've had to live like how the other half lives. She was cleaning it, soaking it, and one of the tie wraps that we had broke and it sank, and so
David Jones locker.
But we only have a couple weeks left in our loop, and so I have been dinging the dog to shore now.
Now we live like the common folk.
So now I understand how so many other loopers that have to dinghy their dogs. So we get into an anchorage, I launch the tender, and we go over, and she does her business, and she loves a tender ride anyway. Like, that's just her favorite thing. Yeah. So in fact, earlier, right before we were filming, she just jumped into the tender just to lay down because she's hoping that she doesn't miss a tender ride later on, which will go on. But yeah. Okay. In some past videos, when it was getting close to moving aboard Witness, how did you handle renting out your house in Portland? Yes. So property manager. So we hired a property manager. Portland has weird laws we weren't able to do short-term Airbnb, like a weekend or week-long vacation rental. It has to be a little bit longer term, so 31 days plus.
And no property manager would touch us with a 1-year lease, because after 1 year we want to move back into our house, but it's not worth it for them, or it's almost impossible to evict people in Oregon. And so we found this long-term Airbnb option.
And it's worked out great. So the property manager we chose has been stellar. There's been no issues with tenants, no issues with house maintenance, anything like that. We did lose a washer dryer, and so we had to buy that remotely and have it delivered, installed,
Yeah, and they're
all that
more
kind of
than
thing.
20 years old.
But that worked out, and so I mean, we haven't seen our house yet, but
We did in November. We visited it.
Yeah,
and it
but
was
that's been like a long time ago.
Yeah.
So hopefully it is in perfect shape when we arrive back. But they've done great at filling it with a person, having it well maintained, and the lawn mowed and all that kind of
So
thing.
we put all of our personal stuff away in attics and Seth's wood shop. We have our furniture there, and we have special renters insurance. And generally people stay 6 weeks to 3 months. And so either they work from home and they want to check out the area, or they're moving to the Portland area and they need a spot while they look for another place. So we've had like pods in our driveway filled with people's stuff and things like that. And we have great, nosy, friendly neighbors that keep us abreast of what's happening. Okay. How many locks have you done in one day? So I would say on a lock day, we average 3 or 4. But the most we did was our first day in the Trent Severn. And thanks to our friends on Crab Shack, because they did it before us, we did 12 in one day.
And we got a video on that, all 12 of them in one video. So we'll link to that below, but it was intense.
The only way it's possible is because the Trent Severn does not have commercial traffic, and they just boom, boom, boom. You just go, 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 go.
Yeah. Knox Will says, not sure if you addressed this, but what's the theme song you use in the opening of your videos? So this is Jason Isbell and Amanda Shires. Acoustic version of a Warren Zevon song, and the particular one that we've selected is kind of special because it's them performing it on Letterman, and that was one of Warren Zevon's last performances.
Yeah,
he
Warren
had cancer, performed that song on that show, and so it has a special place. The whole lyrics are amazing and pertinent and relevant to our trip, and a lot of things in addition to the name of our boat, Witness, but that's where that song came from. So I hope people appreciate that, and we'll link to both the...
I'm flattered by all the people that thought it was us singing. Seth can carry a tune, but I cannot. Yeah. Okay, MD Mellon, what is your favorite port in Michigan? I'm 30 minutes from Grand Haven. Okay, the favoriteest of all 4 of us is Charlevoix, because the town of Charlevoix is amazing, but you have Lake Michigan, and then in Charlevoix you have Round Lake, and then you go through Round Lake to get to Lake Charlevoix, which is just this big, gorgeous lake. And so just amazing amounts of water. And the town, I mean, there was even a movie theater. We went to a movie, which is unheard of on the Loop, and a good grocery store all within walking distance, and the cutest little shops. And there's a amphitheater right there. We saw 2 concerts, and
Farmers Market.
The farmers market, where they like had crepes, like I can't.
The mushroom houses,
and an actual,
all the things.
Yeah, an actual beach if you wanted to do that.
Incredible.
And the Petoskey Stones, and so we are actually able to. We don't have reservations, so we'll probably just anchor. But on the way to our survey and sea trial, we get to go back to Charlevoix on the way, and so we're actually really excited about that. But I enjoyed all the little towns on Lake Michigan, including Grand Haven, and South Haven, and we call them the Haven Havens.
Yeah.
So,
We went to Grand Haven twice, and we absolutely loved it. So you're in a great spot there.
the brewery was fun, and
yeah, just
that is the first time we were.
musical
we
fountain,
got the dead fish and the
dinghy, the
and our
tender,
last
and then
dinghy.
our new tender
Yeah.
was delivered there. So
That's true.
we have a lot of connection to Grand Haven. So
yeah,
really
it's all
enjoyed
good.
it.
Michigan's all good. You know,
Yeah.
the towns. The lake can be a bit much, but the towns are great.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for another Q&A. I think we got 2 more sessions at least of questions. We were going to talk about our boat. There's a lot of boat questions on here, so we're going to talk about that, and a lot of burning questions about our future plans. And so we'll save that one for last, because that just feels like where it should be. So anyway, thanks for joining. Cheers.
Cheers.